just starting a new project and thought it would be interesting to document the whole process. Since I have kind of a plan of where it's gonna go, but I like to leave the project open-ended, so there's often a lot of magic and surprises that happen throughout the way, and I thought it could be interesting to share with you guys the whole process from its inception all the way to its final product. So I just received this crate with this mirror from the 19th century that will be transformed into an artwork. So it's a very special piece. It has 2 candle holders. And so much details, all sculpted in wood and gold plated. So I'm really excited to start working with these ancient objects that already have a soul and enhancing and kind of merging the 2 realms of ideas together, and with the outcome being unknown. I know what my intention is, but I never know in the end what's really gonna happen. So I just got this frame done, so I'm just cutting my canvas to make it fit. As you can see, my studio is my bedroom as well, which I kind of like because a lot of my work stems from dreams, so it's kind of like I'm pursuing my dream in the form of paintings and installations and sculpture. So this is the 19th century frame, mirror and frame that I bought. I just took it out of its socket. It's, as you can see, it's kind of damaged because it's actually a silver coating that they put. This is just a simple glass, and they glue underneath some silver, I guess it's like powdery a little bit, perhaps because it's old and dry, but not quite sure. And this is, I just put the frame on the wall to see it better. So I'm still debating on how I'm gonna make this painting. I want it to come from below, so I was thinking perhaps painting on a thin wood, piece of wood, or perhaps on aluminum. It's tricky. And then someone suggested I could try painting on glass. So I'm gonna do tests this week to see how I can polish it, and actually not polish it, the opposite, scruff it up so that I can put some gesso or something that was gonna hold on it. And once this is done, I can try testing if I can layer paint on there. It would be cool to keep kind of the background so that we can see it, so that I can the mirror just pierces through from below. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, this is what I'm working on. Lots of tests. I guess image that I've rendered from an original vision I had back in Amsterdam this summer. So I did many renders, I'm photoshopping in, and I'm trying to find the best image that will fit the vision I had. So here you can see this is the final one, and now I'm just working on finding kind of a middle color. So you see you have the darks down here, you have the lights up here, and here is kind of the middle color. So I'm gonna use this color here to use as my background for this painting, so that I can have I guess a good start to then be able to put my lightest shades and then my darkest shades without having to put many layers. So it's going to be kind of the gray, the blue-gray, that's going to be the middle ground. So I'll show you the rest of my process as it comes. Also, as you know from my previous videos, this whole body of work I'm doing is dedicated to the goddess Nuit, who is the goddess of the matrix, this kind of invisible space that unites everything that we can see. All the material exists within the absence. It's like talking about the black energy within the atom. There's the particles of matter that exist within empty space. And this empty space is the goddess Nuit herself. So in every artwork that I'm doing, I want to leave traces of her. And she has been inspiring me to create these artworks. So I'm going to be creating some stars on this whole surface and recreating basically her body. So if you look her up, her body is all blue with stars that look like starfish. So I'm going to create my first layer out of her body basically, and it will be invisible. No one will know because I'm going to be painting on top of it, but symbolically infusing it. And it's a psychological thing, right? I'll know about it. It's kind of activated something within me as I'm painting it. So it's something I've developed intuitively to do, using symbols. Even if they're not seen, they still activate something within you as the creator of this artwork. And I do think the end piece will still have all these layers of meaning that will express themselves to the viewer, unconsciously most of the time, but still it adds power and energy to the piece. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. So it's not much, it's just some big stars, and then I'm going to be painting them with this iridescent colors to make them shine. Maybe we'll see them through the painting, I don't know yet, we'll see. I like the idea of chance. And that was the same thing with my other painting. I put some gold acrylic paint on the base layer, not knowing if it would show on the final layer. And if you see in my painting Vision of Ecstasy, ends out, we see it, and it's quite cool to see how it was not programmed, but that we still see it through, and it adds a layer of meaning. So we'll see what this will give in the future. So I'm gonna start by doing my blue color because I think I want to mix some in the silver color for the stars so that they don't contrast too much when I put my layer on top. And it's very intuitive color mixing that I kind of enjoy doing actually. I'm gonna use 3 types of blues so that I can get the perfect shade. Again, I'm just putting, you know, intuitively some, oh shit, some amounts on the, I don't have my paint palette, but oops, that happens. So I'm trying to get this green bluey shade. I'm putting a lot because I don't want to have to remix some other. I'm just going to put it all together. See, like now I'm going to mix in this. It's almost the same color, but I think it's too blue. I'm going to have to add a bit of maybe ochre. Or maybe I'll just add some green directly if I have it. And you notice, like, I'm usually paint with oils, but I like making my base layer with acrylics so that I don't have to wait like a week for it to dry. And I can just quickly go to the next step after. So I think I have some ochre here. I'm going to put it beside, and then just test out a little piece just to see if it's the right color. Here it's pretty dark in my studio, unfortunately. I wouldn't call it my ideal studio, but yeah. So this does give it a little green shade. I think that works. I'm gonna put a bigger blob in there. So it's good. I like to start with the real colors. Like I could just put any blue because anyways I'm gonna paint all over the surface again. But the quicker I feel like I can set the tone for the painting, the better. Because then I can start knowing with what I'm working with and paint a mental picture as I'm going through those steps. See, that's better, but still needs more. And this is really not the ideal palette for this because it keeps moving.
Okay. Okay.
Also, it's good to have lots of natural light because white light, the whitest light, will give a bit more accurate color. Because now it's hard to see. I think I need some brown in there. The hue is good. Like saturation is a bit too much, so this brown will help desaturate the color.
Actually, I should put all of this in just so I don't waste it. So here we go. Bit more.
So yeah, so you see it's gonna start becoming more gray, so a little less saturated, and that's what I'm looking for. That's better. In the end, it's almost like I always put the right amount, and then I just have to trust. But going slower so I don't waste any paint. Okay, I think I like it. If you look on my, on my screen, that's the color I'm going for. And here on the camera it looks a bit brighter, but it's actually darker in real. So pretty happy with that. So now what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be mixing these two colors, which are iridescent, with a bit of blue. So it's gonna just create this same tint but with a blue hue. So then it'll be on the canvas almost like the same color, the stars in the background, but one will be shiny and the other one not. So this is the color Silver from Liquitex. And this, I'm gonna use this one too, just to darken it. It's also iridescent graphite color, just so that the base of the silver tint is darker, because the blue is darker as well. So even you'll see the result already, because my mixing palette is already blue.
So a bit of this. A bit more.
See, now I'm noticing that after I'm mixing some of my blue with this iridescent color, I might need to mix more of the blue for the background after, because it's taking up more than I thought to create a similar color. So that's pretty close. Like, this one is definitely more light and this one more saturated, but that's fine. I like it. So let's go to the application. All right, so let's begin with the iridescent stars. So again, I'm not looking for precision here. I'm not looking for, you know, this is for me. I'm doing this symbolically. It's almost like a ritual. Like I don't care if the lines are straight, if everything is filled in. Really, all I want is for it to be there and for me to be making it with attention to Nuit, the goddess Nuit. Doing it intentionally for her so that she's present in this piece forever. So here, the first star is drawn, it's painted, and I'm going to do a time lapse for the rest. So for those of you who are new to the world of magic and art, I intentionally didn't put too much emphasis. I wanted this to be kind of an intuitive background, but to show you how I connect with the energies behind the painting. I'm working with the goddess Nuit. Like, I created the color, I created the stars, but I just intuitively drew a star so that it would feel like the whole space is filled up. And then I counted them. And I know that we live in a mathematical coded reality. So numbers are very important. And numerology is the art of subjective numbers, as mathematics is the art of objective numbers. So I counted the number of stars I put on, and there was 29. In numerology, you have to add both digits to create a whole one. And the only digit you don't reduce is when it's 11, 22, or 33, because they're called master numbers. In this case, there is 29 stars. 29, 2 plus 9 equals 11. So I intuitively put 11. What this does is it activates the psychic qualities of whatever is associated with these numbers. It is a very intuitive but also magical number of potential and almost exalted energy. It's the two ones combining into the two. And Nuit is the two. We are the one, the I, and then the am is Nuit, is our soul. It's everything around us, the I and the other, the I and the am. So that's how, like, throughout the process, you'll see how this communication and this dialogue starts to become constant. Now I'm experiencing it through this first layer, but it'll continue giving me insights. For example, in this painting, there's this thing in the background, and I know that there will, I don't know what, but I know there will be an object I will be placing on this kind of altar in the middle of this in-between states of waters, of liquids. And I know because I'm giving it to Nuit, to my soul, to give me the answer, give me what I will have to be placing there. So now I'm just waiting for the perfect timing when I'll wake up in the night with the answer in my mind of what this object has to be, this symbol. And it's the same thing that happened with my previous painting, where as we're going to bed, there's just this painting that fell off the wall at the house that we were at. And it was the goddess Nuit that was framed there. I had not even noticed it. And instantly when I saw it, I knew she was giving me the message to encode her in my painting. In the previous one, Vision of Ecstasy, and she's becoming this kind of figure on this entrance of the painting, so you can see it. So just giving you glimpses into how to start a dialogue with your art, but also with your soul. Your art is your soul. Your creative faculties are your feminine counterpart. So Nuit is the feminine, is my feminine counterpart. It's my soul communicating to me symbolically. So here it is, quite simple, just a background with stars. I left the 4 up there to be, because I painted over with the second layer, the background layer, but up here I contoured the stars so that they remain more iridescent than the rest, while these ones will be kind of mattified on their surface, because on the top of my painting, where it's white is where those 4 stars will be. And when you paint with light colors, it tends to be more transparent. So these 4 up here might be the ones that we're gonna see through the top water where it's lighter, where I just showed you. So little update. I decided to put another layer on top of my painting so that the background is more opaque. It'll be easier to paint over as well with oils afterwards. So today is quite exciting. I'm starting to draw the image onto the canvas using my projector, and you'll see it gives a good idea of what's coming next. And what I'm noticing, again, I'm telling you my process as I go. It's very intuitive. But as I knew I was painting kind of her body in the background, the blue with the stars represents the goddess Nuit, who through her body, almost like the Matrix, she creates the whole universe. And it feels like through projecting the image on her skin that I drew yesterday, it's almost like she is pulling and condensing light through her body to create form. And the form is this image, is this render that's starting to emerge from her. So symbolically, it makes it even more powerful for me as I'm painting it as well, to imagine it coming from her. Symbolically, metaphorically, spiritually, it's very magical. Like, look at this. So now I'm just gonna take time to draw all the lines, to make sure that my architecture is nice and straight. These times I used to do this by drawing a grid. So I finished my drawing. You can hardly see it with this light, but that's how I'm gonna end this week's video. It's picking up my new vlogging career, so please let me know any comments of how you found this vlog, what you would want to see more or less, so that I can continue making more content that is inspiring and also, yeah, is fun to watch. So let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week, where I'll be, probably you'll see by then me starting actually painting it, and maybe I'll be working on the mirror as well, and then I'm leaving for a trip, so I'll maybe be vlogging that too. All right, I'll see you guys.